For the Akron Zips, it's John Gross's usual starting five with the orchestrator, the maestro, Lauren Kristen Jackson, Tyler Cheese, Deng Riak, Channel Banks, and Zarius Williams. As that tip's going to get controlled by Marion Jackson, who leads this group of Toledo Rockets for Todd Kowalczyk with Dylan Anderson, Spencer Littleson, Willie Jackson, and Luke Kanapke. Settle back and enjoy it, everyone. There's that floater from Marion Jackson that wouldn't fall. Lauren Christian Jackson always looking to push for the Akron Zips. He'll fire that triple. Lauren Christian Jackson has been in a real groove, Jackie, when in here of late.
And it's been contagious. A lot of the guys have really stepped up. If you compare numbers, non-conference versus conference, even Tyler Cheese, who we showed in the Open, scoring 5 more points per game now than he was in the non-conference.
Whistle blown as Willie Jackson, a young man from Cleveland, to fire that jumper, and that Akron foul, the first foul of the afternoon for the Zips, is going to be called. Zarius Williams on that. Willie Jackson, he had no relationship with Marion, the two Jacksons, different families. But this young man has been a very solid performer for the Toledo Rockets during his career. He'll split the pair from the line. So Akron, one of the top offenses that we have in the MAC this year. John Gross's squad just continuing to play very consistent basketball. Cheese went up high, and Deng Riak with the strong throwdown for Akron's first bucket of the afternoon.
Great read there by Tyler Cheese. Comes off the curl. Kanapke decides to try to stay with him to force him to get rid of it, and Cheese throws it up there where only Deng Riak can catch and slam it home.
Luke Kanapke, one of the top bigs at 6'11" and about 250 in the MAC. Now firing that deep triple that came up short was Dylan Alderson. Toledo offensively the other night in the loss to Central Michigan went real cold at the second half. Cheese will splash that triple. Tyler Cheese with a good look from in front of that Toledo bench. Great
decision by Lauren Christian Jackson. Defense collapse, make that extra pass to the corner. Tyler Cheese, feet set, knocks it down.
Now this is Kanapke going to raise up and ring up that deep three. I've just mentioned to you about this man. Don't let the 6'11" fool you. He'll step out beyond the arc and stroke it real well.
Yeah, got a good touch there. Face up, knocked down. Riak's going to have to stretch out there and contest.
Now this is Channel Banks. Screen roll with Deng Riak, and that's going to be a walk on Riak.
I think I say it every time. This is what we need to see out of the Zips. Throw that up high where he can just catch and slam it home. You throw that ball down low like what happened on the previous possession, he's going to have to go down and get it. Traveling violation, gives it back to Toledo.
That's the one thing that, John Gross has been very pleased. The last time, of course, that we were in here, Jackie, and saw the Zips with that win. But offensively, Akron's been very, very consistent, as we know, on the season. Kept the turnovers down in most cases.
Well, the decision making, I think, has been part of it. The chemistry and the fluidness offensively. They've got a better understanding today than they did a couple months ago in terms of where each other were going to be on the floor, and it's really shown as of late.
Marion Jackson's pass had a lot of sizzle on that. Couldn't be handled by Luke Kanapke. And that turnover on Toledo. And Marion Jackson and Luke Kanapke, they're the two. John Gross knows that as you look at John in his third season, and the head coach of the Zips. Now Lauren Christian Jackson again off that two-man game. Cheese to raise up. Zarius Williams, big and strong on the offensive glass. He almost powered that in the hoop off the Cheese miss. Jackson to the hole. Terrific look to James Sales. Another crush job for the Zips at the offensive end.
Just a heads-up play by Lauren Christian Jackson. Sales was ready for it. Just a great decision on the interior. Christian Jackson so good off the dribble, getting inside. It gives it up to the big man to slam it home.
Toledo had that halftime advantage on Central Michigan at home on Wednesday night and went cold in the second half. Got held to 26 points. That's Willie Jackson with that line drive three that's right there. Not usually a part of his game, but that one he stroked.
Yeah, only attempted 2 threes on the year, and he was creeping out towards that three-point line on that one. Akron daring him to shoot it, knocks it down.
Lauren Krista Jackson left that jumper on that front rim coming off that screen. Todd Kowalczyk really only plays 7 guys. And now we got an offensive foul as referee Edwin Young got Luke Kanapke for moving and setting an illegal screen. There's a good look at Todd Kowalczyk. What a fabulous job he's done with this Toledo program. I can't believe it's a decade now at the helm of the Rockets. Been in 3 MAC tournament championship games with his Rockets. And of course, again, usually they're not any prolonged losing streaks with this Toledo program with Todd Kowalczyk. Very consistent basketball program. Now Cheese trying to use that Jaden Sales ball screen. That iron was real kind to Tyler Cheese with the left hand as it dropped home.
Well, he put it up there softly, the floater to go, and you know, you talk about shooters versus scorers, and Cheese without question has that scorer's mentality, can do it in a variety of ways, and great touch there on the floater.
Jaden Sales checking Willie Jackson. Marion Jackson with that rainbow three. Sales will board. Jaden Sales starting to get more and more playing time, Jackie Winden.
And we've talked a lot about him, Michael, even off air. That is, he just continues to play, continues to get better and get comfortable. He's really going to add some power to the interior.
Kanapke, though, told him, no, you won't on that opportunity at the rim. That's a strong take to the bucket for Spencer Littleson. He's out of Rochester Hills, Michigan, just north of the city of Detroit, the 6'4" junior. And he's one, if his offensive game can help augment Marion Jackson and Luke Kanapke. Sales to unload. Got it. Jaden Sales like that. Got rejected at the rim. Says, let me show you I could drop the 15-foot J.
Yeah, steps back, has his feet set, and knocks it down. And, you know, we've really seen Sales play well his first 2 years here before injuries settled in. But we know he can play, and like seeing him get some minutes here early.
Zarius Williams just stripped Kanapke. Cheese gave it up. Williams. That run-out bucket with numbers, and Akron's lead is 5.
I tell you, this place hasn't had this type of noise in a long time here at the Jar, and they are really starting to show their appreciation for how hard and how well the Zips have been playing.
Kanapke wanted it on the low block. That's going to be a foul on Akron. The Akron bench thought that was possibly going to be a walk on Dylan Alderson.
Yeah, and they had the Norton Ensemble Choir here singing the national anthem. So certainly a lot of thoughts, prayers are with her, not just in Norton, but throughout Northeast Ohio, and I'm sure beyond even that.
Yeah, no question about it. And we're thinking about you always, Emma Faust. This is Willie Jackson. His old stick back. That's going to be a goaltend that is going to be called on Akron. As Willie Jackson gets a bucket. Ali is on the floor. And you see Ali, who wears number 24 for the Zips in white. He was the one that had the goaltend called against him. And now the rip away. Kanapke will send Marion Jackson wheel into the bucket. Marion Jackson with the quick make. I think a lot of you here in Northeast Ohio around the city of Akron know all about Marion Jackson. Garfield Heights High School. Played for former Ohio Bobcat Sonny Johnson. Outstanding as a high schooler. Off that missed jumper from Tyler Cheese. Akron had missed their last couple for the floor, and now Toledo with a chance to take the lead, and that's going to be an Akron foul going to go on the freshman Greg Tribble out of Winton Woods High School in Cincinnati. So Tribble on the floor, and Marion Jackson going right at him.
Yeah, it's just a tough defensive assignment, trying to contain Jackson and just body and then hands for Tribble, and too much contact. Foul will keep it with the Rockets. You really have to do a good job of getting your feet around and getting your nose in front of the basketball. Otherwise, Jackson just too good with the ball in his hands, turn corners and get to the rim.
Yeah, he's unquestionably one of the best in the MAC. Lead guards. Kanapke to unload the triple and book that. Luke Kanapke has connected on a pair of threes, and Toledo's on a run.
That was a deep three. We talk about stretching the defense. 6'11", stepping way out.
That was kicked by Willie Jackson. They'll stay with Toledo. Again, this basketball squad, as we know, offensively, they've got a lot of weapons. Keyshawn Saunders has checked in as well for the Toledo Rockets, the redshirt freshman. Marion Jackson going to get his first blow of the afternoon. First respite on the bench. I would have counted had it gone that inbounds for Zarius Williams, and Williams will get to the free throw line.
Good timing on the pass through the lane there, and a nice job by Williams just to gather and go right up, not try to reposition himself. Enough contact, and hopefully Akron can get one to go here to stop the bleeding as Toledo on a 7-0 run.
So Zarius Williams, I think all of you that are college basketball fans, big time performer for the Dayton Flyers over the course of 3 seasons. Started quite a bit. The second and third years for the Dayton program. And how about the Flyers this year, huh? What a
buzzer beater
they are having for Coach Grant.
Yeah, a big buzzer beater earlier this week.
Zarius Williams has been a huge component for John Gross in this Akron offense. And Williams will connect on a couple from the line to even it up at 15. Again, Akron so much a pressure. Littleson thought about that three but got shut off. Also on the floor now is T.J. Smith, the redshirt freshman who wears number 1. Willie Jackson. Willie Jackson. Now, if you're Akron, you're saying, wait a minute, you bailed him out. If you're Todd Kowalczyk at Toledo, you're saying, great job, Willie. Strong drive to get contact.
That's it. He came
Which
right
one
back to the right side, and I'm not sure what else Riak could have done there. But again, Akron just not doing a good job of containing the basketball. Toledo's really had success turning the corner, getting by that first line of defense, and rotations too late and too deep for the Zips.
Well, Willie Jackson off to a strong start the other night. He had 13 big boards in that. And that's what turned into that second half nightmare. Toledo played a tremendous first half and had the lead over Central Michigan. On the second half, shots didn't fall. They had some defensive miscues and wound up getting beat at home by Central Michigan.
Well, we talked about that a lot with John Gross after their last win, and just talking about the need for 2 halves. You and I were sitting over here pretty excited about how good the Zips had played, and John not happy with his defense in the second half. And coaches will tell you it's 40 minutes of basketball that have to be played just when you start to think you're playing well and things are going your way. Not in this league.
Well, Jaden Sales got interrupted at the rim. Lord Krista Jackson knew he had missed that wide right. As that shot was blocked by Luke Marenka. Marenka wears number 12. As we said, not a very deep bench for head coach Todd Kowalczyk, and that's off the hands of T.J. Smith. Turnover, Toledo Rockets. Toledo with their run. A program that every year in and year out, you're going to give yourself a chance to compete for a MAC championship.
Oh, you saw the score of what happened at Savage Arena last time they played, and Akron just, you talk about that consistency. They just weren't good on the road last year and have done a much better job this year of playing with great energy outside of just this venue. And I'm sure Toledo's trying to steal one on the road here, just as Akron did last year.
Yeah, Channel Banks will knock down that jumper as the Zips in their offensive game. Both squads shooting the basketball real well, though. You know, Toledo 6 of 10 from the floor. Akron now 7 of 14 at 50%. Kanapke on the low block. Look at that triple team on Kanapke.
Well, he's shown he can score from behind the arc, and obviously with that 6'11" frame, sending a lot of bodies at him to force that ball out of his hands.
Shot clock at 3. Red alert time. Littleson to triple. And the Zips, how about the defense they played? I think it started when they tripled down on Kanapke, not letting him make a move on the block.
Good defense, great rotations, a lot of movement.
2-3 zone now for the Toledo Rockets. That's going to be a travel on Channel Bank. So Akron will turn the basketball over. This officiating crew today, 3 of the best from around the Mid-American Conference. Edwin Young along with Bill Eck. And also Rob Snedden. I don't want to forget Monsieur Snedden. Now Konapke will unload the triple. Book that. Luke Konapke continues to sizzle from beyond the arc. He's tripled 3 times. Toledo's lead is 3.
I tell you, he's got a square release, keeps it high. A lot of wrist action there, and I tell you, Akron does not have an answer.
Now gets his 2-3 zone. Jaden Sales had to recover on the baseline. Lauren Christian Jackson. That's pretty, folks. Did you see the head and shoulder fake and the blow-by on the way to the bucket?
That was just it. Just enough of the head and shoulder fake there. Get the defense to bite for a split second and an explosive by him. Great intelligence there and great execution by the point guard.
Well, the Toledo orchestrator, Marion Jackson, back out on the floor. And this is Marion Jackson. How sweet is that floater in the paint?
You know, he got a great look off the tip and tried that very shot, but much better job of just getting into that lane, settling in, and getting the floater to go.
Well, again, where that 2-3 zone, right, Jackie, is going to show that area right there at the nail, right there at that free throw line for Tyler Cheese.
And once you get the ball there, it almost can become a man-to-man because you've got the ball in the middle. Bottom's going to squeeze out to the corners, and it almost will look like a matchup then. And that's what you want to do. Get to the middle of the zone, and Cheese trying to attack then one-on-one, and draws the blocking foul.
Luke Maranka got hit with that Toledo foul. He's a true freshman out of Ada, Michigan. Ali got shut off baseline. Lauren Krista Jackson going to pull that trigger, and nothing but spring music on that 3.
Well, great flow to his game. Nice job there. Again, head up. It does not take him long. Feet set and get that released.
Lauren Krista Jackson, his second bucket. He's got 5. Oh, that's a strong take. How about Keshawn Saunders on the drive to the rim to finish?
Yeah, nice job at turning the corner. Toledo doing a great job of attacking the inside, and again, Akron's got to do a better job of keeping the ball in front.
Back-to-back trays, no problem, says Lauren Krista Jackson.
Yeah, now he's trying to fire up the defense a little bit. He's recognizing that they've got to do a better job of stopping the basketball and guarding at the arc.
Oh no, we've only played 12 minutes right now. It's going to be one of those high explosive offensive days, Jackie Wyndon. Looks like it is, and that's why Marion Jackson against his counterpart Lauren Krista Jackson says, you're tripling, big fella, I will too.
Yeah, both teams averaging over 75 a game, and beyond that pace here.
Zarius Williams with that step back jumper that's right there.
I'll tell you, if he can add that to his game at a consistent level, that's just going to open up another dynamic to this Akron offense.
Partner, both squads over 60% here in the early go. Akron at 61%, Toledo at 67%. That won't hurt it. Willie Jackson will ring the bell from about 12 feet out.
I'll tell you, we've seen a lot of different guys step up here in the early going. You're talking about shooting percentages. You get a good look at them there. Both teams have knocked down 11 field goals, but we've seen threes, we've seen attacks to the rim, and we've seen the mid-range game.
Well, that's a tough jumper there. That was excellent defense being played by Spencer Littleson. On Channel Banks, backdoor pass from Luke Konapke to a slashing Willie Jackson, who dropped that down, and John Gross saying, wait a minute now. Coaching staff too. You got 3 former outstanding collegiate basketball players, 2 of them from the Mid-American Conference. Jeff Massey, of course, who played at Xavier. Justin Ingram, who's a point guard at the University of Toledo, and then Walter Offit played his college hoops for the Ohio Bobcats in the MAC. The 3 assistant coaches, and Jordan Loft, the director of basketball operations. He's a former Toledo Rocket, so you got a strong Mac feel on Todd Kowalczyk's bets. Zarius Williams had that triple bounce out on him. So Toledo shooting 70% now from the floor. They've hit their last 6.
Well, they're doing a good job of moving the basketball. Both teams are, and not forcing the issue. You've got 4 assists on 12 makes. See if he can keep his perfect streak alive.
Nope.
See, we had talked about it, and gets one to miss. But Akron
It's too
now
close to the bucket.
7 assists on 11 field goals. So both teams doing a good job of sharing the basketball and creating good opportunities.
Now we say that, we give both squads the accolades that they deserve for shooting the rock, and a couple of misses. Yeah, that's the first time Kanapke's been anywhere near the rim. About 6 feet away, didn't get it to fall. And Lauren Krista Jackson with a miss at the offensive end as we come under the 6-minute mark. Glad to have you around here this big Saturday of action. Michael Regai, Jackie Winden. A bounce pass finally found Kanapke. Shot clock at 6 and firing the 3. That's off the mark for the Toledo Rockets. Pointing to himself is Spencer Littleson.
Well, I think he heard the crowd calling 3-2.
And it was really 6.
Yeah, had a little bit more time.
Zarius Williams, back-to-back rainbow 3s for him. Maybe not the shot that John Gross wanted early offense.
That's it, but this is what that defense forces you to do, and it's a good look at it there. Hard to tell. Ball will stay with Akron, but that's what that zone will do. It forces, a couple pockets, but Akron better with more movement, passing side, top side, and get some flow going offensively instead of just the one-pass shot.
Tyler Cheese finally lost the basketball, stolen away by Spencer Littleson. Littleson back on the floor, the 6-foot junior. Marion Jackson, that would have counted had it gone, as he got fouled by a flying Greg Tribble as he was unloading that deep 2. Will go to the line.
Well, Jackson's been a difficult guard here in the first half, and you see it there coming off the screen. Tribble, just too much contact up high. I think he got caught in no man's land trying to decide if he wanted to go over the screen or try to go under, and Jackson's just too good. Will make you pay.
Too good. Put an exclamation point behind that as you see Dylan Alderson check in for the Toledo Rockets, giving a respite to Kashawn Saunders. This is one of the finest league guards in college basketball. So I think you've seen that. And all of you that grew up around Cleveland and Akron know that he played for Sonny Johnson, the former MAC performer at Garfield Heights, and his game has continued to elevate at the University of Toledo.
He's got great skill at the point guard position. You see a lot of different guards that try to fill in as a point guard, and there it is again. Throw it up high to the big man.
Deng Riak with the catch and thunder underneath the bucket. And yeah, you like that pass from Zarius Williams.
It's got to be high every time you throw to Deng Riak, and he's had 3 opportunities. One was thrown low and he turned it over. The other 2 he's thrown down.
The Toledo lead is 4 after the Riak flush. Kanapke caught underneath the hoop. Shot clock at 6. Kanapke gave it up. This is Alderson on the take. Shot clock at 1. Littleson will beat that clock with that line drive 3 that was pure.
Now, no panic in Toledo in that possession there. Just a good job of moving the basketball, swinging it around, and you've got to outpass the defense rotation, and that's what the Rockets were able to do. Toledo
now 5 of 9 from 3. Kanapke told Zarius Williams, no, you won't. Ripped it out of his hands. Toledo by 7, their largest lead of the afternoon. Real strong first half on the road for the Rockets. Now can they stay consistent? Kanapke gave it up. Probably had the jumper if he wanted it and gave it up. Marion Jackson trying to attack Cheese. That step back triple. Ring that baby up 2. The lead is 10.
They are finding an offensive rhythm here on a 6-0 run.
Riak will answer. That triple too firm. Zarius Williams ran that down. Offensive board. Banks to unload. Nope. Got a whistle. And our game official, Rob Snedden, says we're going to keep it right here. I'm here. She's the first lady of the University of Akron. Big sports fan, though, too. We're going to discuss all of that with Georgia Miller. That's at halftime, and that is an offensive foul. Zarius Williams put that shoulder into Keshawn Saunders, the Toledo redshirt freshman.
Just tremendous defense there. Does a good job and get squared. Get square. Williams trying to find his way to the rim. That's what we've seen Akron try to do. Create opportunities by finding gaps to the rim, but just good defense there. And offensive foul turnover gives it back to the Rockets.
Yeah, during that timeout, sure, John Gross and that strong staff of his discussing how they get this Toledo offense cooled down. They're shooting 67% from the floor, folks, and 6 of 10 from beyond the arc. And that man, Luke Konepke, has been a big reason why. Marion Jackson. Now on that switch with 6'9", Zarius Williams. Shot clock at 2. And line drive jumper, knocking it down once again is Spencer Littleson.
You know, that's twice now with the shot clock winding down, and think of the energy Akron's having to expend to really try to guard for the full shot clock. And then you've got big buckets as that clock is winding down by Toledo. It just kind of kills your morale.
The lead grows to 12. And now trying to pick the basketball off the floor, Zarius Williams. Turnover, zips.
Yeah, Akron just trying to do too much off the dribble.
Konepke, well, had a real clean look at that three. Jaden Sales back on the floor for Akron. No hesitation, firing the triple for Channel Banks to ring that up.
That was a really big basket, and a nice job by Akron in transition to recognize. Feet set and knocks it down. Big minute 30 here. Akron wanting to get this down into single digits headed into halftime.
Konepke being checked by Zarius Williams. Marion Jackson to unload the triple to knock it down again. 44 first half points for the Toledo Rockets.
7 of 12 from long range, 58%. They've just been locked in.
Todd Kowalczyk, you got to be thrilled with that on the road. Now Willie Jackson will race the floor off the rip. Willie Jackson with some more right-handed thunder. And suddenly Toledo's lead is 14 against the only undefeated squad in the MAC, the Akron Zips.
And it was just a 9-point game with a minute 30, so 5-point swing there. And
Channel Banks had that three curl out. I think Tyler Cheese going to get to the free throw line. He was trying to be strong on the offensive glass. Yeah, when they got it down to 9, and then though the quick 5-0 mini burst by Toledo has taken it right back to 14 here to end the first half.
Yeah, you see Banks misfire there, and just a great job by Tyler Cheese crashing the glass, giving themselves another opportunity. But you know, as you said, Michael, that it's less than a minute, and that 5-0 run ensues. And now, if he misses here or the make, it's going to give Toledo a chance to wind this clock down almost to triple zeros headed into the half. A lot of coaches will say that the last 2 minutes of the first half and the first 2 minutes of the second half are often the most crucial 4-minute stretch of the game, because mentally a lot of guys kind of will say, hey, we're almost to halftime, and let up a little bit. And just like that, a 5-0 run can really do some damage.
Got about a 4-second differential, game clock and shot clock to wind this first half down. Michael Dawson on the floor now for head coach John Gross. Boy, you see the double now on Marion Jackson, trying to get it out of his hands. Jackson with that major league three. I think he shot that from somewhere around Akron-Hoban High School here close to the campus. The basketball will belong to the Akron Zips. With 8 seconds left, so Akron's got a chance to get their deficit back down to 11, maybe 10 here. As John Gross will get another shooter on the floor, with Lauren Christian Jackson to run this offense. With 4 left, Jackson looked to extend to the rim and had it slapped away. But Jackson thought he should be at the free throw line. Some contact. That's good defense, though, by Keshawn Saunders. 2 seconds left. See what Akron gets.
They just showed the replay in here, and I think a lot of people agreed.
Banks to unload and bury it at the buzzer. Will that turn out to be big for the Akron Zips? Channel Banks hit a couple of threes that really was Akron's only offense in the last few minutes. All right, halftime coming up. Lot of shooting extraordinaire in that first half. Most of it from the Toledo Rockets. Channel Banks with an answer as that game clock went to triple zeros. Toledo's lead is 10. 46-36. We'll start our halftime roll coming up out of Rhodes.
I think they're trying to do way too much off the dribble. They've got 7 turnovers now. That's a +5 for Toledo, and they're trying to just do too much, getting through seams and trying to break it down. But here comes Toledo now starting the second half out in man-to-man. That plays into Akron's hands, I believe. Yeah,
Channel Banks had a good look at that three that was off the side of the iron. So we'll get these 10 on the floor. Actually, same 10 that started, the 5 for each. Marion Jackson, offensive foul. Jackson went crashing into Lauren Christian Jackson, who took the charge.
Yeah, nice job there, just rotating, going straight up, and you make this an easy one. We talked a lot about the dribble penetration for Toledo, their ability to get to the rim, turning corners. Nice job of defensive rotation there in that first possession to get the stop.
Lord Krista Jackson along with Tyler Cheese, Channel Banks, Zarius Williams, and Deng Riak for the Akron Zips. Now Riak to set that high ball screen, and Lauren Krista Jackson will sweet stroke that three.
Well, you know, Michael, I'm a fan of a few passes there off the top, but Lauren Christian Jackson, as much as he's been locked in at the offensive end, I like the aggressiveness from him. That's what you want to see out of your point guard.
Now the Toledo Rockets turn the basketball over for the second time on 2 possessions as Willie Jackson tried to one-hand that, and I think Todd Kowalczyk, his coach, let him know, quit the nonchalance, catch the ball.
Just a little too passive there, and the turnover, as you said, the 2 ensuing possessions, 2 turnovers.
Toledo's largest lead was 14. Akron has got it down to 7. This is Zarius Williams. That's a tough jumper, and book it.
Now, we saw him hit that in the first half. He likes that double clutch fadeaway from about 12 to 14 feet, and all of a sudden, this place is becoming electric again.
Yeah, this big throng here at Rhodes Arena today, and they wanted to come in and see the only undefeated team in the MAC. John Gross and his Akron Zips off to this 4-0 beginning. This is Luke Kanepke, got shut off, and that was stripped out of bounds by Channel Banks. 10 in the shot clock. Well, there's no question these first 3 possessions, Akron has picked up the intensity and further out on the floor defensively.
Yeah, just great energy. Nice job there of getting in the passing lane, and Toledo's still in the driver's seat. They shot the ball so well in the first half.
Shot clock at 2. Kanepke on that drive to the rim and throw that baby down.
Well, he went 3 for 3 from long range, so you have to get out there and respect him from behind the arc. Good decision by Kanepke.
Lauren Krista Jackson comes right back with that mid-range jumper that answers for Akron.
Well, we've seen him play and with a lot more fire, a lot more intensity here since conference play has started, and he is doing what he can to put the team on his back at the offensive end.
The Toledo lead is down to 5. Look at Kanepke backing down. Well, they just threw it up with a left hand and didn't grab any rim.
Great defense by Williams, holding his ground.
Cheese, got it. Wet glass, counted, and one coming at the line. The aggressiveness of the Akron offense, spearheaded by Tyler Cheese.
Well, just a great crossover there. Just enough, slowed down just enough to get the defense to shift going to the left, and then you sharp crossover, change of direction. You get a shoulder by and can get all the way to the rim. That's what he loves to do, is go to his left. The lefty for the and one.
Tyler Cheese at the free throw stripe will complete that 3-point trip, and suddenly that 10-point Toledo halftime lead is down to just a deuce. Look at Tyler Cheese with that strong defense to come up with a steal. Cheese gave it up. Akron could tie, take the lead. Zarius Williams is going to go to the free throw line as he tried to attack the rim. And the force of the action, the aggressors are wearing white to begin the second half.
Yeah, you see the reach-in foul there, draws enough contact. Good aggressive take. You can tell what Akron talked about at halftime, and it starts at the defensive end. You mentioned it, Michael, the ball pressure. Just out defending and being disruptive, getting some deflections and steals. That then takes the pressure off of your offense because you're going in transition, and then you can be a lot more aggressive.
Oh, good look at Todd Kowalczyk again, who's... Hey, look, college games are usually, it's games of mini runs. Usually, you got two good programs playing one another. Probably each of them going to have 2 or 3 runs. Toledo had theirs. Akron now. The Zips have erased the 10-point deficit in less than 3 minutes. Willie Jackson got rejected by Zarius Williams. Saunders, nope. Waters crowd at a feverish pitch. Cheese for the Akron lead. High off the glass with the right hand. Timeout, Toledo. Engaged. We saw that right from the beginning of this one. And then, quite frankly, again, now the students are back in classes. This is one of the largest crowds that Akron has had for a home game. Saturday afternoon certainly doesn't hurt. And the students are out in full force as referee Bill Eck has got a hold on Zarius Williams. And this man, Todd Kowalczyk, he's been in this. He knows. That's why I was just talking about runs. Well, he knows there's going to be a run. Now, I'm sure he wasn't happy it was 14-2 to erase his 10-point lead, but they got a little sloppy with the basketball.
Came out just a little bit passive, but again, I don't think that's so much on them as it is the energy that Akron played with. Now you got back-to-back fouls on Lauren Christian Jackson. Got called on the hold, trying to chase Jackson through the lane, and on this one, trying to get out into the passing lane and create the steal.
Yeah. Game official Bill Eck, one of the best in the MAC. He looked like he was a blocking back. He wasn't, of course, but it looked like he was, to use a football term, going to put a block out for a ball carrier. This is Willie Jackson. Jackson made a strong move off the left block, didn't go. So Akron trying to continue with a 14-2 run. Riak had to regroup. This is Channel Banks. Plenty of time on the shot clock as we're 4 minutes into the second half. But Lauren Christian Jackson is going to shoot it 3 times as he launched that, and there was contact from Spencer Littleson. We're inside our 16-minute break. Lauren Christian Jackson will shoot it 3 times with the defensive end against a more passive Toledo squad to open the second half.
That's it. That's been the staple since John Gross has been here last 3 seasons, talking about defensive pressure, and that needs to be the anchor for the basketball teams. He's got a lot of different guys that can score and score in a variety of ways, but it's that effort in creating opportunities at the defensive end that that switch has been turned on here in the second half, and it just opens things up offensively for Akron because of the pace they like to play at then.
14 points, looking for 15 today as Lauren Christian Jackson looks to connect on 2 of his 3. He got fouled while lifting that 3-point jumper in front of the Akron bench. So the Akron lead is at 4. The largest deficit was 14 in the late stages of the first half. Luke Kanapke, who hit 3 big-time threes in the first half. Marion Jackson. Shot clock at 3. Kanapke's got to unload, and he's going to get to the free throw line on a Zarius Williams foul. I think that's got a piece of the wrist as Kanapke was lifting that jumper.
Yeah, going to get a good look at it here. The ball fake and just too much contact on the wrist as Kanapke again showing his versatility. The pull-up jump shot, we've seen him attack from the top of the key, get all the way to the rim, and just has a beautiful release of the basketball.
Marion Local High School, all of you Ohio High School, the OHSAA, one of the very best in the country. I'm always humbled and proud to call championship weekends in football and basketball and baseball. And my partner Jackie Winden, one of the strong components of the OHSAA under the leadership of Jerry Snodgrass, and we got a whistle there. And referee, game official Edwin Young. Now they're trying to get Rob Stetton is trying to get Channel Banks out of what could be a more contact. The contact was there from Toledo's Willie Jackson on Lauren Christian Jackson.
Well, this is going to be 15 minutes of basketball here, as Bill Eck just warns them both, brings them together. Everybody just trying to take a deep breath, get back to playing basketball, and this is what conference play is all about.
Yep.
It gets not just exciting, but intense.
Zarius Williams with that deep triple that's right there in front of the Akron bench.
Well, this is some of the best basketball we've seen him play in terms of consistency. That's a word we've liked to use with this Zips team. And
he's got 13 and not a steal. Numbers for Channel Banks. Banks left it short. Williams didn't follow. This crowd's already in a frenzy. That would have really brought him down. Look at the physicality on ball screens. Littleson will bury the three.
Yeah, Akron just needs to regroup a little bit. Lauren Christian Jackson talking to Williams there about calling out the screen there. That took Lauren Christian Jackson out at the top of the key. And
Lauren Christian Jackson with the answer. Shot that from just the very tip of the Z. Right there where Jackson is now.
I'll tell you, this game feels like there's about 2 minutes left, and there's an awful lot of basketball still to be played.
Akron by 5. Willie Jackson couldn't get the reverse to fall. And Lauren Christian Jackson with tempo. Blocking foul. Yeah, I like that. You can explain this the best. From each side of the floor, game officials, Rob Stetton and Bill Eck, both blew their whistles at the exact same time, hands up, and looked over at one another.
Yep, eye contact and then defer to primary. And good job of holding the whistle and holding the mechanic. Sometimes you see one official come out shipping that to the other end, the other with a block, and in the men's game, they'll report both of those. The women's game does not. They defer to the primary and just go with one, but it's just one of those bang-bang plays that could have gone either way, and Akron with the benefit on that one.
Jaden Sales back on the floor. Sales got 10 minutes in that first half. Williams, that step back triple, and ring that baby up.
I tell you, it's not just consistency, but it's contagious. A lot of different guys stepping up and making shots.
Listen to Rhodes Arena. Raucous Rhodes Arena with Akron now up 8. What does Toledo get offensively? Zarius Williams is fronting Luke Konepke. Marion Jackson in that two-man game with Konepke. That deep triple. Not going to fall. Akron aboard is shooting that deep three. Was T.J. Smith, Lauren Christian Jackson, kabang! He's tripled once again. Are starting to adopt the same type of presence and philosophy with this program.
Yeah, I think, you know, you never know with the new coach how transitions go, what ends up coming of. But John Gross has had some time now to get in the locker room, get his guys here. They've gone through some growing pains, and they are absolutely bought in and playing exceptionally well.
Willie Jackson's going to get that roll as Marion Jackson found him under the rim. Both the Jacksons, again, not related, but both played for Sonny Johnson, former Ohio Bobcat standout. Lauren Christian Jackson couldn't deliver with the left hand, and Toledo wants to push. Marion Jackson, that quick trigger three that wouldn't drop. Up and down we go. Cheese will attack the bucket. Actually ran into Jaden Sale. The Akron lead is 9. Marion Jackson. Little bit of this, little bit of that with a show attached to it on his way to the rim. And that quickly, John Gross says, we need to talk.
Yeah, good Akron is they're the only undefeated team left in the conference.
Before the season began, my question to John Gross is, what will we see as improvement from Lord Christian Jackson? He said, Michael, he's improved his awareness of what I want with this offense. Now, Jackson had room there, but off the mark on that short jumper. The Akron lead is 7. Marion Jackson, two of the best point guards, not just in the MAC, folks, in college basketball. Marion will step back. Kanapke with an offensive board and put back for Luke Kanapke. Big day for the 6'11" senior. Luke Kanapke now with 15 on 5 of 8 from the floor. The Akron lead is 5 as we're 8 minutes and some change in. And that bounce pass is going to go off. I'm not sure it hit anybody as Lord Christian Jackson was trying to find a slashing Greg Tribble. Let's look. Did it hit Tribble or just out of bounds? Well, it did. It did catch Tribble's right hand. Huh?
Yeah, barely. That ball barely moved, though. That's one of the things you look for, is the ball change directions. And dead ball turnovers, though, are better than live ball because at least you have the opportunity to set your defense.
Now, Willie Jackson, that's not his forte, that deep jumper, but he line drives that home. And Willie Jackson has got Toledo back to within 3.
And just a nice job of showing some poise and some confidence for the Rockets. Obviously, Akron makes the run. This place was exploding, and they're just using their timeout, settling in, not crumbling, but continuing to battle and hitting some big shots to get themselves back into a one-possession game.
Yeah, both the Jacksons, Marion and Willie, have 17 each for Todd Kowalczyk. That would have counted had it gone on a reach-in foul. Is going to go on Marion Jackson as Lord Christian Jackson was looking to take him off the bounce.
He's receiving a lot of pressure at the arc because he's what he's done. 5 of 7 we just talked about. You just see an awful lot of ball pressure there, just really trying to contain what he's been able to do at the offensive end.
Yeah, he continues his outstanding play. I just mentioned a moment ago, John Gross telling us that I want his offensive awareness, the scope of the entire offense, as that pertains to not only him looking for shots for himself, but the entire awareness of the offense. And well, John Gross very, very pleased with just that from Lauren Christian Jackson.
Well, he's become the leader. I mean, we talk about guys that can score in a lot of different ways and all these other things, but Lauren Christian Jackson is the guy that's playing the most minutes throughout conference play. He's the guy that's got the ball in his hands the most, and they're relying on his decision making and his ability at the offensive end.
Marion Jackson with another answer on that deep 3. Marion Jackson has got 20. Now the step back that's knocked down from Tyler Cheese off the baseline with a jumper that goes.
I tell you, we're mid-60s, end of knocking on the door of 70. We still have 10 minutes to play. A lot of scoring in this game.
Might be in the 90s. Marion Jackson got in the paint and hit that floater. Marion Jackson's got 22. Lauren Christian Jackson 23. Oh, look at the balance over Toledo. Willie Jackson 17, Luke Kanapke 15. This is Jaden Sales. Size advantage and backing down. Willie Jackson went last, but too firm. Toledo can tie, maybe take the lead on this trip. Firing home the 3 is Marion Jackson. And suddenly Toledo has responded. They've taken the lead.
Yeah, I think he got a little tired of us talking about the Jackson running the other team. And Marion Jackson just stepping up and making plays. And all of a sudden, Toledo's got the lead again.
Deng Riak with that foul line jumper that wouldn't go. A couple of misses on the offensive end. For Akron, and Toledo has regained the lead. Marion Jackson Jackson with that long-range triple that he'll lace. What a performance from the young man from Garfield, Ohio. The Heights, Garfield Heights, loving it from Garfield Heights High School. Marion and Willie Jackson have a lot of friends and fans here. That's Tyler Cheese. Sales tried to offensive board, but Spencer Littleson came away with it. So the lead is back to 4 now.
This is a matchup that plays into Toledo's hands.
Marion Jackson is absolutely scalding. Every 3 that he's firing home is a lot of family and friends. Akron's run was 14-2. That took them from 10 points down to with the lead. And now Toledo has done the very same thing. Well, where does John Gross go? He's getting a bit of a respite right now for Lauren Krista Jackson. The freshman Greg Tribble on the floor right now. Where's number 2? Cheese. Well, that's a real tough jumper. Looking over Kanapke.
At 6'11", Kanapke, and Tyler Cheese usually doesn't fade away too much from there, but did on that one to give himself a little more space to get over the outstretched arm of Kanapke, and it was a difficult shot that he got to go.
Now the Cheese has got 15 tonight on 6 of 8 for the floor. Littleson. The line drive jumper had too much on it. The Toledo lead is 5. Cheese, glass, got it to fall.
Just when you need some offense, Lauren Christian Jackson on the bench and Tyler Cheese with back-to-back baskets. And now 1-possession game once again.
This may take mid-90s to win it. I'm not sure which team will ultimately do that, but I think it's going to take mid-90s. That's the way this game is going offensively. Willie Jackson. Nope. Kanapke. Folks, the blocking and tackling, football-like without the pads underneath the glass here this afternoon.
Well, this is just 2 teams really going at it. I like the no calls there, and you're going to see it looks like Kanapke's arm under there that last hit the ball. It's just all angles there, and somebody's going to love it, somebody's going to hate it. And Akron with a chance to tie it up or at least get within 1.
Akron was down 7 when they gave Lauren Krista Jackson a blow. Well, Cheese was right there at the rim, didn't finish it. Would have brought the Zips back to within 1. Now they got to deal with Marion Jackson against a true freshman, Greg Tribble. On the switch, react on Jackson. Turn that corner, and wow, a lot of contact. Blocking foul on Greg Tribble, and Tribble is face down in the paint.
It turns the corner, and Tribble just runs over. He's sliding to his left. He's leaning. I know the fans don't like it here, but at that angle, you see the lean. It's a bang-bang call.
Well, you saw it there, and I think, could you make a case that Greg Tribble was leaning a little bit to his left? I think that's what Edward Young is telling both John Gross and associate head coach Dustin Ford right now. Marion Jackson, with reckless abandon, went flying toward the front of the rim.
Well, Akron continues to switch on that high ball screen, so you're going to get the mismatch. You know, you've got... last time it was Tribble, and then now it's going to be Jackson when you switch off of that, and getting stuck in the interior, having to come over and then try to take a charge or be that second line of defense, and give Toledo credit for exposing that and being aggressive going to the rim.
Marion Jackson now with 33, 4 for 4 from the free throw line. Kashawn Saunders has checked in for the Toledo Rockets. Saunders, few minutes of playing time. Lauren Christian Jackson, very pure as he'll splash that deep 3 back to just a 2-point game. Well, Lauren Christian Jackson got about a minute and a half of a respite and comes back right back in and bottoms out a triple.
Yeah, he is just locked in.
Saunders, that's off the back heel. Willie Jackson kept it alive for Toledo. Big offensive board, Willie Jackson.
Great decision there. Knew he couldn't secure it, but tipped it out to a teammate.
Todd Kowalczyk has given Marion Jackson a respite right now. He is seated. Saunders gave it up. Went way too hard off the glass for Toledo, did Luke Maranka. Williams on the baseline reverse for Akron, and we're all even. Zarius Williams has tied it at 77. How about this basketball game? This is action, ladies and gentlemen, at its finest. And Marion Jackson's back at the scorer's table for Todd Kowalczyk. This is Willie Jackson. Back it down, react on a step through. The reverse didn't go. Numbers, Channel Banks. Lauren Kristen Jackson with that flying deep three that wouldn't go.
I tell you, the roof would have exploded on this one. Got his feet under him, but started to lean just a little left. A lot of energy in this place. Would have liked to have seen him go square and jump straight up.
Saunders, nope. Willie Jackson, another offensive board. How good is that? Littleson will stroke that three for Toledo.
I'll tell you, what a shooting afternoon this has been. A combined 24 for 45 from the floor. Just absolutely scorching from long range.
Now Lauren Kristen Jackson, Cheese saved it and went high off the window. The acrobatics of Tyler Cheese continue offensively. This crowd absolutely just will not sit down there. A feverish pitch. They should be. Toledo by one. Willie Jackson, yep. Ring it up. He's had a big afternoon. Willie Jackson for Toledo has got 19 on 8 of 14 from the floor to go along with 6 boards as well.
If I was any good at math, I'd add up all the Jackson scoring for this game from anybody named Jackson, because it's got to be an awful lot.
Well, Cheese's reverse didn't go, but out here right in front of us, oh, that does not look good for Toledo's Spencer Littleson. We'll take a look at that when we come back. Tyler Cheese keeping Akron attached.
Contact as Littleton tried to get his arm through the screen, and we play on. I think that speaks to what you talked about earlier, Michael. Football-like, football-esque, and I mean,
without the pass.
Yeah, that's it. And, well, contact is not a foul. Illegal contact is a foul. We say that a lot, but just a hard contact play there. Hopefully Littleton will be okay. It didn't look like his shoulder was out of place, but he certainly ran into a wall, and they're trying to massage that shoulder right now.
All right, now John Gross has moved Channel Banks onto Marion Jackson. Got him to give up the basketball there, but he was able to find Keyshawn Saunders, who line drive home that three. The lead is 6 again.
Well, now you're talking matchups, right? And obviously Banks has a lot more length to him than Lauren Christian Jackson does, but makes the good decision, the extra pass, and Sanders gets it to go.
Lauren Christian Jackson had that rattle out on him, but it was saved by Dengriak. Inside 3 minutes left. 2-possession lead for Toledo once again. Jackson will use the Dengriak screen and bury that deep triple. Lauren Christian Jackson's got 29, and that is his 7th three of the afternoon.
This has just been an offensive output for both teams, and especially if you're named Jackson.
Either one of these teams can get a couple of stops here. Willie Jackson on the offensive board, and he's going to the free throw line. How good is that young man right there, Willie Jackson, at, I've always thought, Jackie, offensive rebounding is knowing where the ball's going to come off the rim and off the glass. Knowing
where it's coming off and the timing of it. Dangriak was inside of him, but didn't time that correctly, and Willie Jackson, just a tremendous job timing it, keeping the ball alive and drawing the contact, and had a good look at his numbers as this lead back up to 4.
He's got 20. Marion Jackson with 33. Willie Jackson with 20. Pacing 4 Rockets in double figures for Todd Kowalczyk. And the lead is back up to 5. A world of time left. Don't go anywhere. As we told you, you're going to need 90 to win this today. We told you that at midway point of this second half, and that is playing out as true. Lauren Christian Jackson and John Gross get a second score here, though. Jackson with that deep 3 that Willie Jackson will board. Marion Jackson in a hurry. Another deep 3 is knocked down. How about the job by Keyshawn Saunders? He's hit a pair of 3s here in this latest. Zips, the only undefeated squad in Mid-American Conference play at 4-0, and with the best record in the MAC coming into today, that's in jeopardy right now.
Yeah, and you know when you're 4-0, the teams, you're going to get their best shot at you, and that's what Toledo's come out here to do.
Channel Banks off the mark on that triple try. They ran that for Banks and got the look they wanted. Banks couldn't convert. Toledo, as we hit 90 seconds left right now, up with a 3-possession game lead. Marion Jackson's floater. A look at Willie Jackson just continuing on the offensive glass, but this time he got a reach-in foul. Now this really could help the Akron Zips. They're going to the free throw line. Clock stopped, of course. Down by 8. Todd Kowalczyk does not want his offensive rebounder fouling back there. 2 stop the clock, put Akron at the line, up by 8.
Those 90 fouls 90 feet away from the basket, and just like you said, Michael, a chance to score with the clock stopped, because as we creep under a minute and a half now, although there is still a lot of time, that starts to become an enemy as well. Big miss there for Lauren Christian Jackson.
Lead stays at 8. Kanapke under the bucket, punched that lead up to 10 as Toledo has got it done coming down the stretch. They bumped the lead up to 10, and Lauren Christian Jackson's going to go right back to the free throw line on the Marion Jackson. Toledo blocking foul is called by official Bilek. Now this is good to see, as Spencer Littleson, the young man who took that crunching hit on his right shoulder, is back in the basketball game for the Rockets.
I'll tell you, that's probably one that he's going to wake up tomorrow, and that shoulder's just going to hold right in place. Want to keep that thing moving and circling around, and glad to see him back on the floor.
This is why we said to me, don't let that Toledo 1 and 3 start in MAC play fool you. It's a very, very strong basketball program for Todd Kowalczyk, and they've come in here today and put on an offensive display against some good Akron defense, as Lauren Christian Jackson went for the steal, and Marion Jackson, with exactly 1 minute left, looks to add to Toledo's 8-point lead.
And that was the last foul Akron had to give, so Toledo will be shooting from here on out. Look for them. Just what we just saw, a quick steal opportunity and then foul.
So what? That's only team foul number 6. Okay, so one more Akron foul will get Toledo to the free throw line. Almost got the strip away there. Zarius Williams. Gonna bother that inbounds pass from Keshawn Saunders. Tyler Cheese reaching in on that foul. Tyler Cheese and Luke Kanapke. Competition, man. Competition, huh?
Yeah, they've
both
words
been for one
in.
another as they walk down the floor.
Yeah, usually I'm not a fan, but I tell you, I think it's all in the spirit of how intense this game has been.
Yeah.
And it's been an all-out battle, no question about it.
Kanapke's got another one coming. He had the real strong first half. A little bit more quiet here in the second half. But Luke Kanapke, I mean, 18 points, 7 boards, and he's hit 6 of 9 from the floor, 3 of them being long-range threes.
I'll tell you, his release, if you could simulate that in your driveway, you're going to be an awfully good basketball player.
Lauren Kristen Jackson responds quickly as he connects. Going to the hoop. And there's the reach-in foul on Channel Banks. Marion Jackson. Tyler Cheese and the Jacksons from Garfield Heights High School continue, and there's going to be a technical foul. Edwin Young, one of the top officials we have in the MAC, because they already been warned. All of them have been warned. And Edwin Young just, and I like that. He just, I warned you. You two are continuing to talk. Bang, bang, both of you.
Absolutely. Just reel them back in. They're continuing to jaw, as we talked about the possession before. Okay, go your separate ways, but they're just going to stay on it. There's really no need for it at this point of the game. And offsetting, shoot the free throws and play on.
Willie Jackson just, I love Willie. But he just went and tried to talk to Edwin Young, and Edwin Young said, I already told you, don't talk to me now. Meaning not don't, but just you were warned, and Willie Jackson was showing a little bit of, that was a quick tee possibly. But I thought Edwin Young handled that wonderfully well. Wonderfully well. Marion Jackson with a couple of, this was on the common foul that started the, shall we say, the chatter and the conversation.
And Akron out of timeout, so they are down 10 and need to go quickly and need to go from long range. Trading 2 for 2 is not going to do you much good at this juncture.
Cheese will lift that deep three. And that should just about do it. As Marion Jackson on the rip away. Jackson went glass, and Willie Jackson will thump that home. And for the Toledo fans here, not many of them, but loud and boisterous, as they have earned. As this will be the first loss in the Mid-American Conference in this 19-20 season, as Channel Banks will hit the deep three. It's still a 9-point Toledo lead with 18 seconds left, and we'll chat with head coach Todd Kowalczyk. But Jackie, this is about resolve and resiliency if you're the Toledo Rockets, especially with the way Akron hit them in those first 4 minutes of the second half.
Without question, Michael, they did a great job of keeping their composure, staying into the basketball game. A team that's 1-3 could have easily allowed this crowd and the momentum and the run that Akron started with to just continue, and they regrouped and came out, and between Willie Jackson, between Marion Jackson, just a nice job of having answers, taking the smack in the mouth for all intents purposes, and really just regrouping and smacking Akron right back. And they just did a great job of hanging in there and getting the job done. And
Lauren Christian Jackson didn't fall the left hand, and I don't think Toledo's going to have a chance to hit the century mark, because John Gross says no fouls, and Todd Kowalczyk and his Toledo Rockets with a huge